video class, and in this video class it's a special class. Actually, we are going to talk about the most important works of the other chapters. Months are left for exam. We have this is 8th of September, right? So we have approx 22 days of September, then October, then November. So technically 3 months, and then in mid of December you will have your exams. So 3.5 months approx, or we can simply say that approx 120 days or 100 at least 10 days, right? So many of you must be following the class routine, must be making your the notes, and you must be following your own timetable. But then sometime you must be thinking, what should we read extra, advanced level readings? So today's live session, it's a special live session, and I will also share the knowledge from the notes. We are going to deal with the English literature UGC NET material, must read world classics. So this is the notes booklet that we provide. It has 77 famous books which have been mentioned. You can see the list here, then the list here. We have total 77 most important world classic books. We will tell you the most important ones out of those 77. Then the another booklet that we have, important books of world literature. This book has 100 plus books. And then we have world classics, theme based questions, questions where assertion, reason, these kind of theme based questions have been asked. This is also a book on world literature, world classics. So get ready, take a pen and paper so that you do not miss anything. Plus I will make this video private within a week. एक हफ्ते के बाद इस वीडियो को प्राइवेट कर देंगे, so do not miss because you will have many questions in exam. ये एक वीडियो आपको 15 से 20 क्वेश्चन दे सकता है. We are going to deal with a lot of important works. Please take your pen, paper, get ready to write down these things. And I repeat once again, as we have approx 120 days to prepare for the next exam, these books will help you to read, revise separately. For example, you are following the classes, you are studying those things, but side by side you can finish these books, you can read these summaries. This will help you to score maximum questions. Now, before we go for it, the question is, what is world classic or what is world literature, right? So write down some points. The very first thing, the rise of world literature or the rise of world classic. An Indian reading the German world literary classic, French Kafka's Metamorphosis. You know about Death in Venice, that is again written by Thomas Mann. So how do you know an Indian reading German classics? It's because of the rise of translation. The translation studies, as I will teach you a special lecture on translation theory. Translation theory is divided in translation, transliteration, transcreation, right? There are three most important theories of translation. Only JNU and Jamia students study these things because there is a diploma in translation theory. So, what you have to remember here, the rise of translation plus the globalization of language English language became global language, right? So this actually gave chance to various cultures to mix up in a common language. We have Germans, they also speak in English. We have Russians, French, they also speak in English. So now the books got translated into English, and because of the translation plus rising awareness about humanity, anthropology, literature, life, people started exploring the other cultures. Globalization and rise of translation is one of the biggest reason, because the books got translated, so we could read Russians, we could read French, we could read Italians. Plus a curiosity to know the other culture. Also, the rise of cultural studies made us go through various cultures, various life. Now we know Greek classics, we know the Russian classics, we know the French classics, German classics, Italian classics. Then the books related to Africa, Afro-American literature, or we have Canadian, Australian, all these things. What comes in exam? Now when you talk about from exam point of view, we have many books. If you want to be a JRF, if you want to crack JRF, then make sure you read these books. While other students will not have the idea about these things, because if they are from small town, they will not be able to compete you. They will be the part of the crowd only. These notes, these books are going to help you. So let's make a list. Write down the name of the book, name of the writer, and I'll tell you what should you read. So I will also try to tell you what should you read in that particular book. Okay, so that simultaneously you will be prepared. आप अभी से प्रिपेयर होना शुरू कर दोगे ना वर्ल्ड लिटरेचर के लिए. बिफोर एग्जाम यू विल हैव टाइम टू रिवाइज. Your memory will work. You will know more questions. So let's go with this one. Those who have taken notes, you can open this booklet. Those who have notes, open this booklet of World Classic. You can mark. Okay. Now, so we go for it. This is my first JRF. This is my second JRF to motivate you all. This is my University of Delhi certificate. Now let's go for the list. The first and most important book in this list we have is To Kill a Mockingbird. To Kill a Mockingbird, written by Harper Lee, one of the greatest American author. This book is not only one of the famous novel, this book is also famous for its racial issues, identity crisis. This deals with color segregation. What happens in a society? A black African nigger, he has been accused of rape, and a white man, a white lawyer, takes his case. So the black African accused of raping a white woman, and a white American lawyer takes the case. So the society turns against him. Society says that you are a white man. Why are you supporting a black person? Why are you fighting for a black person against a white lady? So this is one of the finest story, and it has the perspective of a child. बच्चे के माइंडसेट से लिखी हुई है. वर्ल्ड क्लासिक है. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Remember the character Atticus Finch, Boo Ridley, the name of the white lady, opening scene and ending scene. This is very important. Read it from Spark Notes. If you do not have these booklets, देखो या तो booklets हो. If you have the booklet, the story is here. You know, this is thick. So if you don't have booklet, use Spark Notes. Okay, read it from there. Now, the next one you have to read is Passage to India, E.M. Foster, 1924. Passage to India is again one of the greatest work that deals with colonial times and post-colonial times. Deals with the relationship between the whites and the browns. So when they say browns, who are the browns? Indians, Pakistanis. At that time there was no Pakistan. Pakistan was born after 1947, 14th of August, right? So when they say brown, it is India. Dr. Aziz representing the brown, his friendship with Mr. Fielding, role of this lady, Mrs. Moore, which is very important. There was a question in exam, what is S-More? That's very important thing. And then the most important role of the girl, Adela Quest. 4 characters, then Malabar Caves, then the sound of boom boom, that's very important. Image of mosque, image of wasp and temples are very important. Then a tough question has been asked, the role of Professor Godbole. So you have to read these things. ये दोस्तों पढ़ लो, JRF हो जाएगा. 2 बार JRF किया ना मैंने, इसी वजह से किया है. ये दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में मैंने बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ाया हुआ है. I've taught this work in Delhi University. Don't miss this work. It has a lot of questions. Even the last line of Passage to India has been asked in NET exam. When Mr. Fielding says, Dr. Aziz, we are still friends, he said, no, not here, not under that sky. It is a question of exam. What does that mean? Assertion and reason question. Book 3, Things Fall Apart, written by Chinua Achebe, African writer. Chinua Achebe is the leading writers from African literature. He has written Things Fall Apart, title taken from W.B. Yeats, that you have to remember. And along with these things, you have to remember the point, the character Okonoko, Ekmefuna, the name of the village, role of Mr. Brown, what is Christian missionaries, plus why Okonoko commits suicide. That's the question and assertion and reason. Read this book. 4th one, The White Tiger. There is a series on Netflix. White Tiger, Arvind Adiga, Booker Award 2008. Remember, I've told you to remember all the Indian Booker awardees. You have to read Arundhati Roy, God of Small Things, 1997. Kiran Desai, Inheritance of Laws, 2006. Arvind Adiga, White Tiger, 2008. So make sure you do not miss, right? White Tiger character Balram Halwai from Lakshmangarh, Rajasthan, wants to be a rich man. He has a person, Mr. Ashok, his wife, Miss Pinky. Question in NET exam that in White Tiger, who compares Gurugram to America? Mrs. Pinky. She keeps on going for shopping in Gurugram and she says Gurugram looks like America. Then, why Mr. Balram attacks Ashok? What does he do with the money? What is the value of the title? Plus one tough question. In which book we have the reference of the Chinese market. So this work is very, very important. Netflix पे series there, Rajkumar Rao is there. Either you watch the series or you read the book. Don't compromise this one. Book 5, The Inheritance of Laws, written by Kiran Desai, 2006 Booker Award. Two important characters, Sai and Bizu, deals with migration, deals with identity crisis, deals with post-colonial identity crisis and narrations. Along with these things, we have a character, Jemu Bhai Patel, a character who eats Indian dish, chapati and vegetables with fork and spoon. He ties a towel, takes the fork and the spoon and eats chapati and dal, roti. He is typically anglicized. This is the example of Anglophilia. उसे अंग्रेज बनने का शौक है, वो अंग्रेज बनना चाहता है. देसी खाना, लोकल खाना भी fork and spoon से खाता है. It's a very unique character. Read those points. Next one. The next book we have is The God of Small Things, another Booker Award. See what I tell you, this is very important. These things are provided in notes. The God of Small Things. It is page number 11 in your notebooks. Read this book. This is very, very important. You know, this deals with stories set in Kerala, casteism, sexual relations, actually the identity crisis and cultural clashes. Rahel, Istapan, then Baby Kochamma. These things are very, very important. Read the characters. Questions are like this, that the story is set in in Kerala. This is again very important. Then comes book number 7, VOS, VOSS, VOS. 99% people have not heard about it, but this is again a world classic. It is in 7th number. VOS is written by an Australian writer, Patrick White, deals with magic realism, deals with stream of consciousness, and also talks about the fourth world literature, Aboriginal references. Very important. Then next one we have, this is again, and I'm leaving 2 books, going for other book which is very important, The Metamorphosis. There are 2 books that I have left because I'm going for the most important ones for this particular exam. The Metamorphosis by French Kafka. Gregor Samsa, a young boy, sleeps in the night, becomes an insect. एक कीड़ा बन जाता है सुबह उठ के. This is the question. Exam में question है, what happens when he's converted into an insect? The very first thing, what happens to him? He finds it unable to wake up, to get up, because he has his hands like a cockroach, turned cockroach. So they're not able to, correct the posture. He faces problems. Then he hides behind the sofas and other places. That picture. The name of Mother Courage has been asked in exam. Anna Furling. Which war is in the background? The War of 30 Years. That has been asked in question. What is the song sung by Mother Courage? Net ka question hai. Don't miss these things. Next book we have is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, written by Tom Stoppard, title taken from Hamlet. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern were actually 2 spies and they were, spying after Hamlet. So make sure you remember the name. This work is also unique, written in post-modern style. Tom Stoppard's Rosencrantz, Guildenstern Are Dead, 2 times asked in net exam. Next one, Heart of Darkness, Joseph Conrad, Heart of Darkness. Post-colonial narrative, Charles Marlowe, Mr. Kurds, Ivory Trader. This is very important. If you go to the net exam and you have not heard it, अगर आप net exam देने जाते हो और आपने ये नहीं पढ़ा है, or you have taken coaching classes somewhere and you have not read this, it means it's clean. So Heart of Darkness we used to teach in Delhi University and people have done a lot of research on this thing. Heart of Darkness is a must read. It's by Joseph Conrad. It is the form of a novella. Very important thing. For this particular work, Chinua Achebe delivered a lecture in 1975, Racism in Africa, Conrad's Heart of Darkness, and he called Conrad bloody racist. This work is very important, my dear friends. Then the next one we have to remember is The Heart of the Matter, Graham Greene. Very, very important. Major Scooby is there. Psychological novel hai, बहुत important hai. Read the summary from the notes or from Spark Notes. The next one we have is namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri. Namesake Jhumpa Lahiri. Very, very important. Relation with Ashok, Ashok, Ashima, and their only son Nikhil Gogol. And also, what is the reference of the famous Russian writer Nikolai Gogol? So make sure you read that, and please remember this thing that this book has been converted into a movie. Irfan Khan, Tabbu have played important roles. In fact, in this movie, Jhumpa Lahiri also appears as a cameo writer, as a cameo. Next book we have is House of Mr. Vishwas. Once again, the same thing I will say. You go to NET exam and if you have not read House of Mr. Vishwas, it means you are not prepared. 200 people are watching it. Why only 88 likes? Why? Come on, my friends, my students. This is a private live. Where is your thumb? Press it. Come on. Just one person obeyed. 89. Good. Okay, 20 people listen to me, 102, but still 183 now. Come on. You know, it's a clap from your side. See, with this session, you will know exactly that when you read this book, what are the areas you must focus. Otherwise, you will just read everything. So I'm telling you what are the important things that you must focus, right? So I do deserve your likes, right? Okay, so let's get back. House of Mr. Vishwas, it's a very important thing. The idea of Hanuman house, Tulsi family, plus how the soothsayer says that the boy will be the reason of the death of the father, and how Mr. Mohan Vishwas connects a house with his liberation, with his identity. It is not a normal house, it is the identity, it is the liberation. So House of Mr. Vishwas is the most important work. You know, there was a question in exam that in House of Mr. Vishwas, family members used to talk to each other in a secret language. Which language was the secret language? The answer was Hindi. They would use Hindi as a secret language, so don't miss that. The next book we have is The Last of the Mohicans. James Fenimore Cooper, a most important work. I tell my students in offline batch also that read this book. This is the book that deals with the leather stocking group of writings, leather stocking novels. Very important, deals with the American colonization. When the Britishers tried to colonize America, how American natives used to fight. It's a very important work. A hero, he's the normal, tribal person, Mohican. He has been given a charge to protect the daughters of the colonel. His own friends attack the girls and they try to rape. The hero fights against his own friends. Most important story. मेरी तरह double JRF करना है ना, तो ये आंखों के नीचे गड्ढे हैं, right? You want to get double JRF? See the patches. You will have to read. ये सब पढ़ना है. You will have questions. Look in my eyes. Questions मिलेंगे यहाँ से. Direct questions होंगे. Read that. Next one, Moby Dick by Herman Melville. Moby Dick by Herman Melville is very, very important. Published 1851. In 1851, it was the utter failure. ये flop book थी. The book was flopped. Then again, in the literary theory reference, I will teach you this point that in 1920s, in America, professors did Melville revival. In Melville revival, their students read Moby Dick again and became a world classic. Role of Captain Ahab, it's very important. Role of Ismail, very important. Opening line, call me Ismail, very, very important. Name of the ship, Picard, very important. How Mr. Ahab, a club-footed man, fights against the whale, very important. The two subtitles, the whale, the white whale. What is the story behind these two subtitles? Very important point. Next one, Old Man in the Sea. Highly motivational work, great work. Man can be destroyed but never defeated. So this is very important. How Mr. Santiago goes to sea to get Merlin, but there he fights with sharks. How he returns. The question in that exam was that whenever Mr. Santiago would give up, he would accept his defeat, which baseball player would come in his dreams to motivate him? The symbolic baseball player that would inspire him to fight back. The next one you have to read Life of Pi, written by Canadian author Jan Martel, story of an Indian family, Indian boy, plus a Royal Bengal tiger. The name of the tiger has been asked in exam, Richard Parker. Plus, how this boy is trapped with a tiger in the boat, how he survives, the questions, theme based questions of existentialism, identity crisis, religion, plus survival. These are the questions that have been asked. Next book that you have to read is, and again it's very very important, and this is Lord of the Flies. Lord of the Flies by William Golding. 8 9 kids left alone on an island. They try to form a government, means only a government of only 8 to 10 people. They're all 9 to 10 years boy. Ralph, Jack, Simon, Piggy. How they live together, how they fight, how the loss of innocence comes to these people. This is very important. The next one we have is Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe. Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe. Abraham Lincoln met Miss Harriet Beecher and said, "Are you the little lady who started the Great War, the Civil War?" So she has written Uncle Tom's Cabin. It is a world classic, one of the finest work, very important work, the life about slave Uncle Tom, African slave Uncle Tom. Must read it. Tips pe kar lena. Next one is Crime and Punishment. Russian writer Fyodor Dostoevsky. Famous work Crime and Punishment. Leading character Dunya Raskolnikov. A young boy kills an old lady, takes her money for his purposes. Rest of the story is discussion, debate. Now the next story we have is The Glass Menagerie by Tennessee Williams. Amanda, Laura, Tom, three important characters living in apartment culture. This is apartment culture novel, apartment style novel. And a play. In this work, they sit together and they're worried about to get the girl married. I just need one more like, 199 like are there. Just one more like, we'll have 200 likes. Come on. So three family members are there. They are waiting to get. Thank you. We got 201. So they want to get the girl married. Imagine a mother. She is poor. She doesn't have money. She doesn't have any income source. Brother is working in some factory but only meager salary. Mother scolds the daughter to sit near to the phone. In our families, we say the kids, no, don't touch phone. Keep away from the phone. Here, mother scolds the girl to sit near to the telephone. Why? Because the mother wants the girl to have an affair. Somebody calls, she falls in love with somebody, she talks to someone, and she'll be getting married without a dowry. Imagine the pain behind this thing. These are the world classics from this book. I know it's not possible to finish everything. In the next session, we will finish the next page. Let's go for this one. Now, this is again world literature classics. 100 plus stories. I'm going to give you some names. Remember these points. Write on these because we have to tell this book also. So the first thing that you have to go for is, we have some famous writers. The famous book we have to read is Epic of Gilgamesh. There is one question in an exam. Till now, just one question. But how many of you have seen Avenger series, Eternals? In Avenger series, Eternals, you must have seen a bulky boy, Gilgamesh. Epic of Gilgamesh is an ancient literature, the part of ancient literature. It's very, very important. This epic poem deals with the story of Gilgamesh from Mesopotamian civilization. Remember Mesopotamia? So make sure you read that. It's very, very important. The next one we have is 1001 Nights. This is the part of Arabic literature. 1001 Nights. See, when I teach everything. This has been asked in net exam for one time, so make sure you read that. Those who already have these notes, this is on page number 13. If you already have it, it is on page number 13, story number 6. Very, very important that you have to read. The next one you have to read is story number 7. This is called Nizal Saga. This again ancient story dealing with family feud. Very important part of cultural studies. You have to read this one. The next one we have is the book number 9. The book number 9 is again very, very important. It is by Honore de Balzac. Le Pere Goriot. Father Goriot, also called Father Goriot, French writer. This is very, very important. Book number 9. Do not forget the name of Watring, Rastignac, and one more character, Goriot. This is compared to King Lear, and in net exam, the last line of this work has been asked in exam. So don't miss this thing. This is very, very important. The next one we have is Albert Camus. The number of the book is 14th. 14th number, Albert Camus. This is very, very important. The name of the book is Stranger. A boy, he has lost his mother, but he doesn't want to go to attend the cremation. He goes to meet the dead body of the mother, smokes cigarette near the body, drinks coffee. Albert Camus, El Stranger, book number 14th, must read है. जरूर पढ़ना है किसी भी हाल में. You know, many of you keep asking me, sir, what to read, what to read. We have taken notes, what to read. I'm telling you these things. So don't miss that. The next book we have is book number 18th. This is very, very important. This is Chaucer, Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer is not only the part of Chaucerian age, his book of Duchess is the classic of Italian literature. So Chaucer is not introduced as a basic Chaucerian writer. Chaucer's book of fame is the classical part of Italian literature. So book number 14th is very, very important. Then the next book we have is book number 20th. The book number 20 is by Joseph Conrad. And here in this particular section, we have given many other books. So read Joseph Conrad to get everything. Then we have this one. This one is again very, very important. This is Fyodor Dostoevsky. The famous work is The Idiot. This is 26th. You have to read that. The next one we have is book number 30th from Greek literary classics, Euripides. You have to read the most important work, Medea. This is book number 30th. Then book number 31st, William Faulkner. You have to read 4 books here. We have mentioned 4 books. ये सब पढ़ना है. 100 plus stories हैं. Then I'm jumping. Book number 37th, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. His famous book 100 Years of Solitude. Must read है. ये note कर लो. Part of magic realism है. और भी इसमें books हैं. इसको भी हम next time किसी और class में complete करेंगे. Then we go for third one. This is very important. It has short stories, world classic short stories and theme based questions. The first thing that you have to write down, this is very, very important. The Castle of Perseverance. Find out this thing. This deals with the devil, flesh, hell. It's very important. Then another thing that you have to read and revise it. The Death in Venice. Death in Venice by Thomas Mann. Very, very important. Then after this, we have Alice Carroll. This is again, Alice Carroll again is very, very important for Looking Glass, right? Then Dance of the Happy Shades, Alice Munro, world classic story. The Dance of the Happy Shades, very important. Then Dear Life. Dear Life is written by Alice Munro. Please do not miss that. Then we have given one more story of Alice Munro, Runaway. That's very, very important. The another thing is How to Get Rid of It. It is by Linda Davis. Please check that. It's very, very important. Then the Bald Soprano. Bald Soprano is by Eugene Ionesco. Its first play. Very, very important. Absurdist literature. Then we have Invisible Man. Invisible Man is by Ralph Ellison. Very, very important. Then Hedda Gabler by Henrik Ibsen. Very, very, very important. ये सारी कहानियां बिना पढ़े मत जाना एग्जाम में. Suppose you go to exam and you have not read these things, you'll miss it out. Sister Carrie by Theodore Dreiser, dealing with American tragedy. Must read है, बहुत बहुत important है. Then Notes from Underground, very, very important. Thematic question है. The theme of brotherhood will be asked in exam. Then again we have a question related to violence and morality. The name of the book is Maggie, a girl of the street. Deals with moral hypocrisy and violence. ये सारी चीज़ें पढ़नी है. Then Madame Bovary पढ़ना है आपको. Madame Bovary, Gustave Flaubert, very, very important. So I have a public session also by next 30 minutes. We have talked about important things from this book, from this book, from this book. Those who already have it, find it out. It will be easy for you to read, revise. Those who do not have it can order and book. Those who cannot afford this much, please use Google and Spark Notes. Try to read these things as much as possible. Come with questions. And along with these things, just like this, in my coming sessions, I will be telling you what should you read in literary theory, what should you read in cultural studies, what should you read in these two books also, the culture studies and unit 5, 6 and 10. I'll be telling you the most important topics related to these things. We have approx 120 days, 120 दिन है, 120 days we have it. बहुत है, more than enough. If you study for 5 hours per day, 5 hours per day, and let's say that only 100 days, fine. So even if you have only 100 days, 5 hours, 500 hours. Imagine 500 hours, 500 घंटे. Books are here, what to read, I am teaching, you're getting lectures, you will get more live classes, more video lectures with the time. Last month we will have 3 to 4 video classes every day. Every topic will be revised, every chapter will be revised. I will come and ask you rapid fire questions. We will discuss each and everything. In the last days when I'm free from my offline batches, before before exam, at least 20 days gap we keep. So offline batch it's free. I sit with my mobile phone and laptop to answer the queries from online classes. Last 20 days you will not have to wait for my answer. Now you get my answer in 24 hours, right? You will get my answers. You will get live classes, regular classes, revision classes, rapid fire classes, regular tests. That will be the main time. We all will have that passion to do together. But till then, utilize the time. Because if you have a strong base, we will have a great building. Now, last thing, I'm going to Dubai, 11th September, Abu Dhabi. It was my dream to take my parents. When I was preparing, I was struggling. I used to think that one day I will take my parents for an international trip. One day I will have a car for my parents. One day I will take my parents to the flight for a flight. So, with God's grace, I'm going to accomplish one of my dream. मेरा सपना पूरा होने वाला है मम्मी पापा को दुबई लेके जाने का, विदेश लेके. आप समझ सकते हैं, आपके भी सपने हैं ना पेरेंट्स के लिए कुछ करने के. You also have the dreams to do something for your parents, right? I also had this dream. So, I'm more excited. I'm passing every day a day. And from Dubai also, I will do live classes. So stay tuned and stay connected. We will have live classes from Dubai. Having Burj Khalifa in the background and teaching you. So I'll try my best with Wi-Fi. Plus, I'll share my experiences. You can find me on Instagram. My personal Instagram is Professor Vineet Pandey Author. Official Instagram you must have seen, Sahitya Classes or Vineet Pandey Official. My personal Instagram is Professor Vineet Pandey Author. There I will share photos and videos of Dubai. You can talk to me there also. And I'm excited doing it for my parents. They struggled a lot. They have struggled a lot. बहुत सहा है उन्होंने, बहुत सहा है. It's their sacrifice, it's their struggle, it's their hard work that I'm living a life today. It's all because of them. Worst to worst situation, my father made sure that I'm studying. Otherwise, I would have stopped my preparations. I would have joined some other job or something like that. So this is my dream, to take my parents to Dubai, and I'll share my memories with you on Instagram. See you all there. God bless you, and work hard, because I would love to see you fulfilling your dreams. So today's video, if it makes you take a oath that you will also do something big for your parents, remember this day, share it with me. जब पूरा हो जाएगा ना, मुझे कॉल या मैसेज करना कि सर मैंने भी अपना सपना पूरा किया है. दिस इज माई ड्रीम फॉर माई ब्रदर, फॉर माई सिस्टर, फॉर माई पेरेंट्स. आई एम डूइंग इट. अपने दम पे जिंदगी जीनी है, अपनी मेहनत पे जिंदगी जीनी है. एक बार करियर सेट हो गया, एक बार लाइफ सेट हो गई, 50-60 साल के लिए यू विल बिकम असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर, रिटायर्ड प्रोफेसर. देन इतने सारे रास्ते खुल जाएंगे. वंस जस्ट वन एग्जाम, beautiful life, your own income, the tag of being qualified. Nobody will raise a point, nobody will question your credibility, your competence, your knowledge. They will all say, no, this person deserves. पढ़ाई करो, मेहनत करो. मेहनत करोगे ना तो पहाड़ भी काट के आदमी रास्ता बना देता है. तो जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, बहुत मेहनत करनी है. क्यों? क्योंकि हमारी आंखों में सपने हैं. वी हैव ड्रीम्स फॉर आवर पेरेंट्स एंड वी हैव टू डू दैट. With this message, God bless you all. Thank you.